look, 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 look. It's doing its new special ability. Oh, sick.
About to test out the first session at night in the Robotaxi. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Oh my goodness. I hope you got a break at some point. You don't have to answer that. All right, y'all. We are starting our first night ride. So I've not tried Robotaxi at night yet. We have a 16-minute drive ahead of us. We're going from, hopefully you can see this, the northern part of the geofence. We're gonna go all the way down there to the southern part. We didn't get the full length. It's kind of like a wide geofence, but here we are at night. We're gonna see how it performs. So a lot of creep in here, and it does pull out. Already, I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little more cautious. Just that it's only one turn, but that one turn felt a little more just kind of, looking around than I feel like it was doing earlier today. And that is not a bad thing at all. So again, another right turn, doing that. And we do have one left turn, it looks like. So that was something a lot of people were kind of speculating, is that Tesla was going to avoid left turns. And it's actually not a bad thing to do, because like UPS and FedEx will do full drives with human drivers, of course, and they will do no left turns for the whole day of driving, or maybe like 1 or 2 for an 8-hour shift of driving. Because they found that efficiency increases and risk goes down. It's safer to do only right turns. It actually makes your entire journey go by faster, and you spend less money on fuel. So I was kind of like, yeah, why wouldn't they? Wow, there's like a weird curb right here that it did fine with that. I was kind of thinking, why wouldn't Tesla want to implement, and maybe maybe there's only a few, but our Robotaxi drives that we've been doing have plenty of left turns. It doesn't feel like, I haven't seen anything where there's like 3 rights. So I don't think that's happening at all. But it seems like, I don't know, you'd want to do that. But yeah, we're going to let it drive here and just see what it does at night. So far, it actually feels like it's going to be pretty similar. So unfortunately, a long straight road. And that's the other thing. People ask about, oh, can it do it at night? Can it do it in storms in this scenario? And what ends up happening is, when you have these conditions that aren't as nice, I'll say, you have less drivers in general, right? It's not that late. What time is it? 10:36. Feels way later to me because I slept like 5 hours last night. But when you start getting later at night and it's darker, there's less humans also driving around. So there's less traffic to deal with. There's less in terms of that. When you have nice weather, the weather's nice, and it's not as hard for Robotaxi, that's where you're going to have a lot more traffic. If you have a huge rainstorm, people aren't going to go out as much. So it ends up kind of almost balancing out. It's still good to try all these different things, but it's really hard to have, like, say insane rain and a ton of traffic and, this and this and this, because they just usually kind of balance each other out. I don't know. What do you think, John? How's it feeling?
Honestly, it still just boggles my mind. Here we are. We had some rain today, so we had really slick roads.
Yeah.
And then now we're at night, and again, it's a Sunday night, so it's a little bit calmer than it was from what I saw on 6th Street the other night. But yeah, it's handling, like FSD supervised, but obviously this is just, without a driver here.
Yeah, supervised. I was calling it unsupervised, but I don't think that's technically the right thing to say. Maybe it's like supervised light or something. I mean, driverless is definitely what I've been saying. It's driverless. Clearly it's driverless.
Yeah, and it's a different build for sure than the 13.2.9 that we have, I think, right now.
Right, for sure. So it's definitely driverless, but it's obviously, of course, supervised. And again, it's never, why would you not supervise it, right? If you can have a fleet of, say 100 Robotaxis or 1,000 Robotaxis with no drivers in it, and then have, 10 or 15 employees kind of just checking in on them, of course you're going to do that. Because there's always going to be some weird situation, I don't know, garbage in the road, a roadblock that just happened, a stalled car that you get stuck behind. Who knows? It could be anything that's not even that crazy. Then someone can check in and be like, oh, okay, let's reroute around this or whatever needs to happen. Like what happened to my first drive. The car put itself in park in a left turn lane. And was it, some big tragedy? No. Someone checked in, we said, can you continue the route? They said, sure thing. I mean, I think it was less than 20 seconds, right? And the car was back on the road, and nobody even honked. So that's how you know it wasn't that big of a deal, because people honk real fast. So if nobody's honking at you, I don't think you did anything really too bad. Have you had anything today? Have you seen it do anything weird?
So there was one instance where, and I wasn't looking, so I don't know if it was anyone's fault.
Sure.
But there was an instance where it did feel like there was a car that was going probably 25, 30 miles an hour that was about to hit us.
Oh, man.
On some of the side streets. But that was the only instance. But just being able to see it in parking lots, backing up and reversing, doing the U-turn that we just saw it do.
Yeah.
Like, again, this is what you would expect, you know. And then also too, I took a Waymo tonight, and just seeing the experience between that versus this, like, and there's just, you know, again, you think of from a Waymo, you can't scale that. You cannot scale it long term.
Right.
But there's stuff that Tesla can do to, like, small things that they can implement that will pretty much make the ride as similar as possible, right? And part of what that's going to be is, like, you get in, at least on the Waymo, they tell you the instructions, hey, buckle your seat, XYZ, here's the proper instructions. Or as you're getting close to the arrival, it can make an announcement as well, right? And we know it can do all of those things already. So this is just the first iteration. And so there's a lot that can happen, which is going to be, but yeah, so that was the only instance, but everything else has been really intuitive, where it's parked, where it's stopped, where it's picked us up at. The app is a lot further along than, not that I would expect from Tesla, just because we had seen images of it, but they really have done, like, they're a lot further along than someone just kind of doing some testing, right?
Yeah, I'm still surprised, like, when we got this Robotaxi, I'm surprised at how fast the app is. It's like, you open it, immediately tells you how long it'll be before one gets to you. You haven't even put in a destination yet. And then you put in the destination, and it is like instant. I can't even exaggerate how fast it is. And it's like, all right, it's on the way. And here's the ETA, you know, and I think the longest wait I've had is 10 minutes. Other than that, it's been, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. It's all standard. Like what you would see, like when you're waiting for an Uber or even a Waymo.
Yep. Oh, I usually wait longer for my lifts than that. So that's the other thing I found. So I've been trying to, we can't control the route. I've been trying to take slightly longer rides because, to get more footage, more scenarios and everything like that. And I've talked about this a lot in other videos. The problem is when you pick something that's far away, you just get on a big road and go straight for a long time. That's kind of how it works, right? You're not going to have a bunch of turns or turnarounds, left turns, right turns. It's just, you're just going to get on that big road, turn a couple times, and then you're there. So again, it goes back to this balance thing of like trying to find different things, trying to experience different things. But it all ends up balancing out in the end. I can have a 3-mile drive. A lot of my most complicated drives that I do in my vehicle end up being literally like 3 miles because I just keep doing a bunch of turns in a tight area and then I'm done. Are they looking?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what is going on in that car?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is this is what I'm talking about, memory with the Cybertruck. Okay, or with the full self-driving. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but there's like a pile of people in that car. It looks like mostly like kids, right?
Yeah, definitely not legal.
No. And so as a driver, personally, if I see that, I'm like, whoa, I'm getting away. Because that girl looks like she's 16 and she's got about 8 people in the backseat.
Yes.
Robotaxi doesn't care about that. Now, don't get me wrong, it'll do a good job of getting away from them if they do something dumb. But I would already be away from them before they do something dumb. That was insane.
Yeah, that's definitely not legal.
No, there's no way they have. I mean, there's like 7 or 8 people in there.
And they were looking because they were like, there's no driver in the car next to us, even though we have like 9 people in our car.
That was crazy. And they ran red, I think. Ooh, we got a right on red here. Yeah, good. Okay, so if we look out the back, they did start. Oh no, that person turned left. All good. Perfect execution. I mean, that's been basically all the drives. It's just, you know, there's not much more to say.
I mean, there's been no big errors or issues. I mean, this is like, for the first rollout, this is a lot better. And I will say, so again, from my experience that I had tonight with Waymo, this is a lot more comfortable.
Oh,
that
really?
felt a lot more mechanical. This feels a lot more like a human.
Right. Interesting.
So, like, you also saw the Waymo making even like more corrections as it was going around, like some of these turns, right? Or like maybe it had to overcorrect. But this, like, it just feels like someone's driving in front of it, or driving in the front seat.
Yeah, that's great.
Waymo.
Oh yeah, a couple of them. They're like, you know, a little fleet together there. So this is a Robotaxi at night. About to grab a left turn here. It's not an unprotected left, but it is still a left, and there's not much traffic because it's getting late. But I heard you need LiDAR to work at night. As the Waymo co-CEO was like, oh yeah, for night driving, you know, that's what LiDAR's for.
LiDAR, per Elon, LiDAR is a fool's errand.
Yeah,
Quote from him.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was always thinking, many years ago, like, all these companies use LiDAR. What is this guy missing out on? And at Autonomy Day, 2019, he said, listen, we use, because people keep asking that question. He goes, we use LiDAR at SpaceX. I know what it's for. It's great for what it does. It's not for self-driving. And I said, yep, all right, I'm just going to listen to you. So there's our left turn at night. Very nice.
Look, did you see that person in the road?
Yeah. Dark. Oh, man. FSD slowed for them.
One thing Dr. Know-It-All was saying today was that FSD rides, or really these Robotaxi rides, are going to become like the airplane, where you can get work done. Like he was doing.
I can't wait.
So can you imagine, like,
obviously
now this 20? Yeah, I mean, we're living it right now. But a 20-minute ride is the time where you can actually catch up on work now.
Right.
And you don't have to deal with a driver talking and some weird situations and stuff.
Yep.
That's all gone.
I know. I will spend a lot of it sleeping. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's what I lack on. But no, I mean, it's just the amount of freedom. And then again, we've talked about it before, but the people that don't have this option at all, due to disability, or a car can't get to them, it's too difficult to accommodate them, or whatever. Robotaxi don't care. Robotaxi's coming to get you. Right, Robotaxi works great at night. That's it.
Pretty much. Just like it did during the day.
Yep. All right, make sure to gather your belongings. We're about to finish this drive. Another zero intervention drive. This is my 11th zero intervention drive today. Actually, that's not true. I guess the first one had an intervention with the support call.
I wonder if it was like this before Tesla came and headquartered here.
Oh, look. It's doing its new special ability. Oh, sick. Oh, look at it.
Did you notice that where it was focused on doing it too? Look at this.
Yeah, it's cleaning off the cameras.
Specifically.
Yeah, a new special little wiping. It doesn't need the whole windshield. It just needs that one little area. Sick.
That's insane.
Yep. Beautiful nighttime drive. I think it's going to drop us right here.